Good morning.
Hi, this is Mark Sopowitz with a Clarion Voice, and today we're going to be talking to my friend, life coach Kathy Gruver. So stay tuned. Good Tuesday morning to you. This is January 23rd, and this is Mark Sobowitz with a Clarion Voice. And we certainly hope that you're enjoying yourself and you're going to have a productive day. And I'm here with my crew, Mike Donaldson and Selena Wheeler and Debbie Buckheim. So thank you all for being here. And before we get started, I want to thank our sponsor, Cherry Bomb, and I want to hold that up here. And Cherry Bomb is a product that is going to help you with your energy and also with clarity of mind. And so, if you are interested in doing that, you can see the website to go to, and also there's a promo code. And if you do order a product, then you'll get a 25% discount if you use the promo code. So please do that, and we certainly thank Stephen Krause and the people at Oxygenesis for sponsoring us with their product Cherry Bomb. Now let's get down to business. We have my friend Kathy Gruver somewhere in Santa Barbara. There she is. Hello, Kathy.
Hello.
Welcome back. This is the annual interview with my friend. We did this last year, and so we thought we'd bring Kathy back. Anyways, the reason I wanted to talk to you today is about some things. What has happened in the last year as far as your clients coming in? What is the most common thing problem that seems to be coming up more regularly?
Yeah, I've seen an increase in my couples coaching. So I have a lot of couples that are coming in that maybe want to take their communication to the next level, that are finding they're not as present, they're not having the level of intimacy they had before. So I'm getting a lot of couples who are ready to make changes. And I'm seeing a lot of not even necessarily corporate clients, but people who just, they don't know what's next. They don't know what step to take. They don't know where they're going to turn next. There's a lot of sort of unease out there as far as the economy and things that are happening.
Right.
So people kind of looking for a North Star, right? They're looking for a direction, and whether that's looking at values or dealing with gratitude and negativity, communication, all of those things have really come to top of mind for a lot of people in the last year.
Okay, that's interesting because I know that we've gone through a lot of all sorts of different things as far as wars and violence in the in the country and things like that. So I was just wondering about that. Is there one particular thing that people see? I mean, is communication an issue for couples? As far as dealing with the problems.
Huge issue is communication. I mean, with everybody, right? That's the basis of everything. And so often we think we're great. Right? It's the other person's fault that we're not going to be communicating. We're fabulous at it. It's the other person that's just not getting it. And often it's the way we're communicating. And maybe we're communicating great for someone who is exactly like us, but for someone who communicates in a different way, maybe a different communication style, there's a lot of messages that are being misinterpreted or completely missed. Or we think we're communicating and we're just not, right? We expect people, especially other couples, to read our, especially the other person in the couple, to read our mind. And that's not fair. And that's not how communication works. So I help get to the root of that and help them see differences in communication styles. And then hopefully the relationship grows stronger.
Right. But I was just, by the way, in case you are interested, you might want to look at Kathy's podcast, which is called Fire and Earth, with her partner Jason Mefford, and so I heartily recommend that. just to give you a plug, Kathy, for that. But the one thing that stood out to me recently is your talk about gratitude and expressing gratitude. It seems to me, this is just my opinion, but it seems to me that people feel like they're more entitled to things and they're not thankful. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm definitely seeing that. I had a long conversation last night with talking about the differences in generations, right? And how we have these up and coming generations that seem to be so entitled to just get things, to get the promotion, to get the good job, to get the whatever they're just wanting. It's that helicopter parenting. It's that, overindulgence in what these kids and these people in their like early 20s seem to want. Now, not disparaging any specific generation, because there's certainly people my age that feel entitled to things too. But I'm definitely seeing more of that, right? We've sort of been taught, especially with social media, that, you get it now, it's perfect, it looks great all the time. And we forget that so much of that it's curated. These are curated images. The selfie that you see is not the first shot the person took, probably. There's the lighting, and now our phones can correct all this stuff. We don't even know it's real anymore, which is a little scary to me. So yeah, I think we take so much for granted. And I have a daily gratitude practice, and I encourage my clients to as well. I teach a technique called mental bank, and one of the aspects of mental bank is gratitude and acknowledging the great things that happen today. It's so easy to focus on the negative stuff, isn't it, Mark? And we
Right.
sometimes see only the negative, and we forget that there's all this amazing positive stuff around us that we get to choose what we look at.
Right. There is this app that you had mentioned in one of your podcasts called I Am, which is, a positive affirmation website, or app, which gives you all sorts of affirmations. And part of that is being thankful for what you have. Do you find that people are just not thankful for what they have? I mean, is it something that it's not new? I don't think, but is it generational? I mean, you were mentioning that.
I think so. There's this weird dichotomy with that, right? So it's like someone my father's age, you tell them to have a gratitude practice. They're children of the 40s. They gratitude. What is that? That's just not even. That's too woo woo for them, right? And then you have like the people in their 20s and 30s who are just seemingly more awake and more conscious, and they might have a gratitude practice that might be running parallel with this sense of entitlement. So it's kind of interesting. I think I have clients of all ages that have gratitude practices, and I have a lot of my couples who keep a journal that's a joint journal, and they will basically write messages back and forth to each other, expressing gratitude and expressing feelings that maybe your partner's not around today, they're at work, and you are thinking of them, and you want to tell them how much you love them, or how much fun you had last night, or how you're looking forward to the great weekend. And they'll write that in the journal, and they'll put it on their partner's desk at the house. And then when the partner comes home, they get to see this beautiful message of love and gratitude. And then the book just goes back and forth. It's one of my favorite gratitude practices. And I have most of my couples do that. It's really elevated their level of communication and intimacy, because it can happen at any time. Sure, sending a text, hey, I'm thinking of you, that's fun, but it is a kind of nice to have that like actual physical book that you can carry with you through your relationship. And the
Hmm.
cool thing about a gratitude practice is you can look back to it to see those things that you're grateful for. So if I've written it down either in my phone or a notebook, and I wake up, and I put on my cranky pants because they fit so well, and the worn spots are in just the right place, I can look back through that gratitude journal and go, wow, I have hot water, and I
Yeah.
have electricity, and I have a car that runs, and I have a job, and I'm surrounded by people that appreciate me, and I have four limbs that work.
Right.
And when I inhale and exhale, air goes where it's supposed to, and I don't have any major illness. And for my clients that do have a major illness, they still have positive things they can focus on. And we have to remind ourselves of that every day. It really shifts our thinking.
Okay. Now, there was another subject that piqued my interest in your podcast about how we use our time, or what is more important, what is the priority, and I think that we live in a world that is very fast paced, obviously, and how do you go about telling a person you need to just stop and slow down a little bit? Do you find that to be something that a person might come to you with?
Yeah, definitely. Especially when I say something like, do you have a meditation practice or do you have a journaling practice? Oh, I don't have time. I would love to, but I don't have time. I'm going to call BS on that, because we all have time. We all have the exact same amount of time. We choose where we spend our time. So if someone tells me they'd like a meditation practice, but they, quote, don't have time, I say, well, you probably brush your teeth and you probably go to the bathroom and you have to drive to work and you have to brush the cat and feed the kids and make the dinner and do the dishes. You can turn all of those things into a meditation practice. Sure, that's not you necessarily sitting on the pillow, eyes closed, contorted in the position, picking a finger and doing the formal seated meditation. But there's no reason why you can't turn sitting at a red light into a meditation, because that's what I do. You can do the dishes mindfully so that you're turning that into basically a meditation. We have to sometimes just get creative with the way we choose to spend our time. And, we are also a society that rewards doing. It's the to-do list. And believe me, I'm guilty of this. I'm a triple Capricorn. I run my own business. I'm planning a wedding. I'm very type A. My dad wanted a son and got me, so I'm really competitive. I'm very much a doer, and I love doing, and I've accomplished a lot in my life, and I've been able to help a lot of people because of my doing. And this year on January 1st, when I would normally sit down and make this list of things that I want to accomplish this year, I didn't do it. I didn't write a list. And every so often on TikTok and Instagram, I put up my daily pause. And my daily pause that day was about, maybe this year's focused on being and not doing. There's always stuff to do. And when we shift our perspective and our attention to being, then it creates a whole different person. And I'm reading a lot of books on Buddhism, and I studied with Thich Nhat Hanh. I'm reading one of his books right now. I'm really diving into the meditation. We're on day, 23 straight of meditating, my partner and I. So yeah, I think we can focus more on the being, and that takes the pressure off the doing.
Is it hard for somebody to say no?
Oh, yes. Out of obligation, pleaser, avoider, or just wanting to help. It's great that we want to help. And you take someone who has a more deep level, like pleaser in them, that they help not just because they want to assist, but they help because that's their identity. It helps them fit in. They're going to be liked more if they volunteer for yet another PTA bake sale. And in reality, they don't want to do it. And, you can tell often, if you ask yourself the question, it's really about getting curious about yourself, because this is everything we're talking about is great. But if you don't know yourself, then a lot of this just stalls. Why are you saying yes? Because know that when you're saying yes to one thing, you're saying no to something else. If you say yes to the bake sale, you're saying no to playing with your kids. If you say yes to the bake sale, you're saying no to dinner with your husband. If you're saying yes to the bake sale, you're saying no to your dance class. So you have to decide, what is your priority? Where do you want to spend your time and attention? Because those are two limited things. So yeah, I think so often it comes from a place of guilt or shame, that saying yes when we really would rather say no. So if you can find a way to, no is a full sentence. And I see so many, specifically women, get into this thing where they're like, oh no, I have to. And then the email becomes, 13 paragraphs of them explaining why they can't do the thing. And in the end, they end up doing it. No, this doesn't work for me right now. Or no, I don't have the time for that. I say no all the time now. I used to not be very good at it. I've gotten really good at it, of setting those boundaries, because I realize, I have priorities, and my self-care is one of them. And we all need to take that.
Okay, let me ask you something. You were talking about meditation earlier, and how do you feel prayer fits into all this?
Yeah. Oh, it's right there. I mean, to me, it's the same sort of thing. I remember, gosh, I can't remember if it was Thich Nhat Hanh or somebody that I was studying with. Somebody asked them, what is the difference between meditation and prayer? And somebody said, prayer is, how did they phrase this? Prayer is asking the question, and meditation is waiting for the answer. And I thought, wow, that's actually really profound. I needed to sit with that, right? Because that was interesting. To me, it's that focused presence. And no matter what you call it, prayer, meditation, mindfulness, it's that focused presence of being with yourself, with your spiritual belief system, whether it's internal or external. To me, they're kind of right in the same plane.
Okay. There's something that I'm trying to develop within me, which is to be other-centered, to take me out of the equation and to just focus more on the other person, and what they need. How do you feel about that as a means of, identifying yourself, in this crazy world.
I think that is a beautiful practice. The downside of that comes in that not everybody is of the same mindset in that. So if you're for the other, which I mean, I'm for the other pretty much most of my day, until there's someone who wants to take advantage of that, or who doesn't appreciate that, or who
Mhm.
treats that poorly. And then the question is, can you stay focused on the other and not become bitter, resentful, angry? So that becomes a whole nother level of experience, right? As you're giving yourself to this person. I remember a friend of mine, he was very involved in his church, and they, their whole thing was, help others, and, the poor, and charity, and all this stuff. And he had run into this homeless person in a park and gave the guy a meal, gave the guy a shower, let him sleep there for the night. And he woke up to discover the guy was gone, and so was all his grandfather's jewelry.
Ah,
So that's when putting everything on the other can be hurtful, and for many, many years, he didn't want to help anybody anymore. And he was so angry with this man because he's like, I opened my home and I gave him so much and he took more. And had he simply said, hey, can I have 20, $30 for more food? He would have given it to him.
right.
Instead, this man, from surely a place of fear or anxiety, what I can't imagine being unhoused. But from that place of fear, took advantage of the person that gave him his home for the night. So there's that balance, right? There's that place of how much is too much, and what is it? Don't cast your pearls before swine, right? I mean, make sure what you're giving is from a purest intention, and try to find the people who will accept it from that place of purity to give it to.
Okay. Are you planning on what kind of schedule do you have as far as speaking, or what are you talking about in the future?
Lots, lots. Yeah. So I just started a program on navigating the narcissist, how to work with difficult people. So I've been sending that one out to the places. We'll see if anyone takes that one. My communication talk I have coming up. I'm doing a lot of stress and change right now. Overcoming resistance to change, of course, is huge because change is always happening and it always affects us. So I've got a couple coming up for that. I just spoke for this amazing display company. They do installs of shelving and lighting, and any retail that you see that has those beautiful displays could have been done by this company, Display Max. And they brought me in, and I did 4 talks in one day.
Wow.
I was so exhausted. My voice, I sounded like I don't even know what by the end of it.
Okay.
Wolfman Jack. Boy, I'm dating myself on that one.
No,
I
I
was like,
remember.
well, by the end, I was just so, yeah. But it was so much fun. I had 4 different audiences for the same talk, and it was really a challenge for me to reach the C-suite and also reach the installers who, probably graduated high school and that was their level of education. So I really had to massage each of my talks to reach all these different levels of people, and it was so much fun for me to do that. So
Good.
yeah, I got some really great stuff coming up, and
Okay.
I'm
Uh,
always excited to travel and reach new audiences.
Thank you very much. Now you've written 9 books, right?
Yeah.
Do you have a 10th one coming?
I'm actually honestly finishing the 9th one.
Oh,
So I do not have a 10th one coming. No, in fact, I think the last time I saw you, I was also finishing the 9th one. I got distracted with other things.
okay.
I go with that urging, right? It's the little kid, like the little kid pulling on your shirt. And it's like, I was so prompted to write that 9th book. And then I started to get into it. I got permission to use some images for the illustrations in the book. And then other things pulled my attention, and until the wedding is done, I'm not doing anything else. And I keep
Gotcha.
saying that, and I keep getting booked for speaking gigs. I'm like, I'm not doing anything else till the wedding. And then another good gig will come in, and I'm like, okay, now I'm not doing anything else till after the wedding. So,
I hear you. Well, Kathy, it's always a pleasure to speak with you. In our interview here on the Clarion Voice, and you give us really good insights, and I really appreciate it. And I am glad to call you my friend. And
oh, I am as well.
I thank you for participating in this. And we certainly hope that you have a productive year, and that things go well for you. And if you would like to get in contact with Kathy, she does have a website, kathygruver.com, correct? Is that right?
Yep. And also Kathy Gruver.coach also, if you want to do some
Okay.
coaching. Yeah.
So if you want to inquire further about what Kathy does as a life coach and other things, you can participate in that, and she'll have a way to have you contact her. And so if you are liking this video, then please share it with someone, because I'm sure there's someone out there who is in need of getting their lives together and try to smooth the road out a little bit. And also, if you are interested in getting notifications, then please hit the bell, and we will be glad to direct you to the proper place. And in any case, this is Mark Sobowitz for Clarion Voice. And thank you again, Kathy, for being with us. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Y'all have a great day. Thank you very much.